true horror stories from the dark web, chat. Now, I'm not now I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I heard some rumors about dark web. I don't know much knowledge about dark web. All I know that they're doing like some illegal stuffs, like hiring some murderers to kill somebody, like I don't know. There's so many things going on in the dark web, which I'm not well educated on, but I'm sure we're going to be learning something from it, and we're going to be seeing some things that is going to be opening up our brain into something new. Let's hop into it. This video is information purposes only.
Once you're there in the dark web, it is alarming what's being bought and sold.
The dark web is known as the internet's evil twin. It's where online...
Like, this is the thing, bro. Like, on a normal occasion, every single one of us is using internet, right? You're literally using internet right now. For what we use the internet, your knowledge is limited based on those things. So, for example, in my case, I never even knew anything that something like this exists. So, knowing that there is potential for millions of other things on the internet, which is available right now as we are talking, is kind of crazy to think about. Because you don't think about it in the everyday. You're just feeding yourself up with the bullshit that you're already feeding yourself with. Like me scrolling on Instagram, scrolling on TikTok, YouTube, I'm just seeing those things. There is so much bigger version of the internet that we don't genuinely know.
Services offer illicit...
Have you heard of Silk Road? I have never heard of it. I have like almost zero knowledge about dark web. So this is going to be really interesting for me to watch.
Hitmen for hire. Cyber criminals have created a platform called Genesis, which is making money selling people's digital identities.
Today, the Department of Justice announces the takedown of the dark web market alpha beta.
If you've never seen this seedy corner of the internet, tonight you will.
The internet we use every day is just a tiny part of the web. There's another hidden layer known as the dark web, and it's home to every horror you can imagine. Today we're diving into true horror stories from the dark web. So it is the new year, guys, and my goal is to increase the number of videos I put out without sacrificing quality.
Such a W edit, by the way.
We gotta keep growing, so it would mean the world if you subscribe, and I promise to do my very best for you. I'm Visual Venture, and you are awesome.
I got you. Subscribe. Hey, if you're watching, subscribe you too.
Rent a Hitman. Hitmen have existed for thousands of years, but the dark web changed how they do their work. Before the dark web, hiring someone to harm another person was extremely difficult. Clients had to meet hitmen face to face. It was uncomfortable and dangerous. For most people, that risk alone stopped them from trying, and the dark web changed that. Around 2016, websites claiming to offer hitmen for hire appeared across the dark web. Many of them had interesting names, like this one, Slayer's Assassination and Life-Ruining Services. On these sites, placing a hit was as simple as ordering a product online. Users only needed to fill out a form.
Is it that simple, bro? You just hop into whatever that is and you hire somebody for a hitman, and it's as simple as me ordering a coffee, for example. What the actual... No information needed, no, like, you just pay them the money and they show up and job is done. Is that how it works? Holy, this is so much scarier than I thought.
Provide as much detail as you can, a name, address, a photo or whatever, and what you want done to them.
Some sites even listed different prices based on experience.
Some less experienced operatives accept $5,000, while other skilled operatives can charge up to $20,000.
Others went even further. They offered a drop-down menu to choose how the harm would be carried out. One site even allowed users to select the method.
The cost of a sniper hitman starts at $20,000.
Some sites promised same-day options. Others promoted discounts. And a few displayed reviews from happy customers. To an outsider, everything looked professional. There was just one problem. Most of these sites were scams. They took payments and promised results. Then they disappeared. For years, people lost money and got nothing in return. Because of that, police
I mean, there is nobody to track it, right? It's called dark web for a reason. So maybe I hire a hitman and I pay him the money and he never shows up. Then I get scammed. Boom. Bro, do you know what I'm thinking about right now? Are we thinking about the same thing right now, chat? Let's open a scam business.
dismissed dark web hitmen websites as fiction. Then one day, that changed. Some hitmen began fulfilling their end of the deal. In 2018, someone placed a hit through a dark website called Bessa Mafia. The site was so popular that users called it the Etsy for hitmen. The target was a US Army soldier named Brian. The client submitted Brian's photo and location. They requested that the incident look like an accident. Then they paid roughly $5,500 in Bitcoin. After that, there was nothing to do but wait. 11 days later, Brian was found lifeless in Indiana. His phone, camera, and computer were gone. There were no signs of forced entry and no suspects. People on dark web forums saw the news about Brian and they were shocked. It looked like the impossible just happened. A dark web hit order actually worked. At first, the story spread quietly, then it spread everywhere. Once people believed dark web hits were possible, job requests skyrocketed. A few months later, another contract was fulfilled, this time on the other side of the world. The target was a woman named Yevgenia. She was a police detective in Moscow. Yevgenia spent years arresting criminals, and with every case, she made new enemies. In 2018, one of those enemies decided to end her. His name was Yaroslav. He submitted the detective's information on the dark web. Then he paid $15,000 in Bitcoin. Less than 1 month later, the job was carried out. Yevgenia was standing outside her home. Suddenly, someone stepped out of the shadows and ended her. It was another successful hit ordered through the dark web. But this time, the story did not end there. Remember, Yevgenia...
But how do they even gather all this information? Isn't it dark web for a reason? So it's not supposed to be tracked and it's not supposed to be known to gather all this information from? Like, yes, eventually they're going to be finding the dead body, but I'm assuming hitmans are going to be doing their job really sneakily and they're not going to be leaving any evidence behind them. No fingerprints, nothing. How do they eventually come up to these stories? I'm a little bit afraid that these kind of things are a little bit made up, not true stories. But hey, at the same time, as I said, I don't have much knowledge within the dark web, so it might be there is some turnaround around it.
Aya was a detective, so her team refused to drop the case. Within months, Russian police tracked down and arrested the hitman. The person who ordered the hit was also arrested. Then he had
I mean, hitmans can make mistakes, right? So maybe there is a hidden camera somewhere, a camera that they don't know about. So they can still make mistakes, so maybe.
Face the law.
В октябре 2020 года суд назначил ему посадку сроком в 14 лет в тюрьме строгого режима.
That case removed any doubt about hitmen on the dark web. They were real. In the years that followed, police uncovered more cases of people ordering hits online. Today, no one knows how many hitmen are active on the dark web or how many targets they've erased. But one thing is clear. The dark web made it possible to end someone without ever leaving your bedroom. Every hitman required one crucial element: accurate information about the target, where they live, where they work, what they look like. And that information didn't just come from their clients. It's public on the internet too. And if you haven't done anything about it yet, your own information is likely online for everyone to see. A few years ago, someone actually found my personal information online and used it to threaten me and my family with it. And they found my information because data brokers make billions of dollars by collecting your personal data and selling it to anyone who pays. It is insane to me, but this is completely legal. But they're also
and the worst part is that I'm so positive-minded person. Let's say, for example, somebody like me, right, who doesn't know nothing about this stupid situation. So I must like, actually, this is an informational video for me because I'm going to be more careful in the future coming to all of this. But I'm so positive-minded person. I don't genuinely believe that there is bad people out there, even though I know that there are bad people out there. But I'm trying my best not to make assumptions on people. You know what I mean? So I did a really stupid story back in 2025, early 2025. It was 2024. I was living in the UK. And the area that I was living in London is not the greatest. So I didn't assume that there's any bad things that can happen to me, even though I have personal stories that my flatmate got his phone stolen in the middle of the street during the daytime. So I knew all of this can be happening, but I'm just like, you know, living so positively. One day I decided to start running out of nowhere. And obviously it came with a 3 a.m. motivation. So I was like, okay, let's hit the road. You know what I mean? I went out to a park. I don't know why a park. Don't ask me. I thought a park is going to be nice. It's going to be chill to run at 4 a.m. in the morning. You know what I mean? And those are the time that I actually started making content creation. This is the time that I just started, like, you know, some documentation just for myself, you know, talking to myself in the camera and all that. So I just went out with the running shoes. It was summer, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., I don't know, and my phone. That's it. I went out to the park. The park was like a little bit big. So it was like, if I want to run around the park, it's like 3.5 kilometers, 4 kilometers. I don't know how much is that in mile. Convert that, you know what I mean? But I went out with my phone. Literally, there is no lights. There is no lights in the park. But I'm assuming, like, hey, I'm just running in the park. Like, what can happen? What anything wrong can happen? And I'm so dumb. Now thinking about it, like, it's so dumb. But back in the times, I generally did not think that anything bad can happen. So what I did, I turned on the camera because it was too dark, obviously with a flashlight. So let's assume now this is a camera with a flashlight. Hey, let's actually do it, bro. Let's actually do it. So this is what I was doing, right? And I'm running and I'm like motivating myself. Yeah, it's 3 a.m. Who's gonna carry the boat? I'm out here running. There is nobody around me. And I'm like literally putting myself in a spotlight. You know what I mean? A literal spotlight in front of me. So if I was not a target, now I am a target. Obviously, I didn't see anybody around me, but I was like, bro, I'm gonna just finish my run and I go home, take a shower and all that. Eventually, I came to a spot where there was one spotlight. You know, like you probably seen those one spotlight in the middle of the park. It's creepy. It's creepy. But I didn't even think about it creepy way. I'm like, okay, it's like I'm keep walking. I'm gonna keep running. So, but I've seen like 2 dudes sitting around the corner, sitting around there. Bro, I kept running. I didn't even stop. But the more I came, I've seen that they were like standing up and started to, like, you know, they wanted to gather me around. Bro, I started to shit my pants. You know what I mean? I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm in the middle of the park. If I get murdered right here, it's over. That was dumb now thinking back. But I genuinely did not think that bad things can be happening to me. Even though I put myself in the situation. I learned from it. But this is what I'm talking about. Like, eventually I like turned around and got back home, like running. Even I got out of the park. I started walking on the main road. And, you know, I just got shit on my pants. And I don't know, like, thinking about it back, if I would have continued there, maybe something bad would have happened to me. Maybe those people would have stabbed me and get my phone and run away. You know what I mean? Anything can happen. But yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So for a person like me, was this genuinely positive about life? Like, anything can happen in the dark web. So let's say, for example, I'm watching a YouTube video. Some people are telling me, hey, fill out this information and maybe you will have a chance to win in something. And I fill in the fucking information and eventually it's a hitman or I'm filling myself to scammers or whatever, bro. I don't know. It's so easy to scam me. It's not good, but hey, I'm happy with life. You know what I mean? At least, I don't know. I have to be more careful. That's for sure. But yeah, there's bad people out there that exist, which I have to understand. And many of the people have to understand if you're similar boat like me. It is what it is. So I feel like this is a really educational video.
Legally required to remove your data if you ask. I tried removing it all myself, but it was practically impossible because there are just hundreds of these data broker sites. But this is exactly what today's sponsor, Aura, does. Aura identifies...
Aura, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, do I even trust Aura anymore? I don't know. Let's just skip the ads.
Web and a name, $, password, or go to Aura.com. Personal information is being sold online right now. In this next chapter, regular YouTubers started messing with the dark web, and it didn't end well. The mystery box. If someone says they bought something from the dark web, you usually expect the worst, maybe a dangerous item or something illegal. One of the most popular items on the dark web isn't what you'd expect. It's a box, a mystery box, just a sealed package with unknown items inside. But that mystery turned out to be the most dangerous part, because once people started opening these boxes, they realized something was very wrong. To understand these boxes, we need to start from the beginning. The idea did not originate on the dark web. It started on eBay. Around 2017, sellers began packing random items into boxes. They sold them for prices ranging from $10 to $500. They called them mystery boxes. Buyers paid without knowing what they would receive.
This 50.
I feel like mystery boxes are such a gamble. I would say like mystery boxes are literally the definition of buying gambling. It can be good, it can be bad, but I'm assuming that most of these mystery boxes, like, I would say 1 out of 1,000 books that can be genuinely good. Let's say, for example, like a truck what is getting like Louis Vuitton bags and blah blah blah, shipping over to the other world. They just drop it to the ocean, somebody finds it and they put it to mystery boxes and hey, you win the lottery. You know what I mean? But most of the times these boxes are gonna be like trash. Why in earth would people sell valuable stuffs in mystery box? It just doesn't make any sense. This is like such a lame way to gamble your money away, in my opinion.
$1 mystery
It's a
box
scam.
says totally strange and also something totally useful.
And imagine you get that package. It arrives to your home, and it's a head of a goat or something. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm assuming there's some regulation that is gonna be going through declaration and stuff, so it's not gonna be arriving to you. But hey, it can be anything, bro. Anything.
We'll open the boxes to find all kinds of things. Some contained junk, others had Pokemon cards, jewelry, or gadgets. eBay mystery boxes became super popular. Buyers loved the curiosity and the surprise, and that gave people on the dark web an idea. By 2018, websites on the dark web began advertising their own
I never
mystery
bought any of
boxes.
these mystery boxes. I'm just assuming things. I don't know.
The concept stayed simple, a surprise inside every box. But on the dark web, surprise meant something far worse. One buyer received a package filled with a dark red liquid, and it wasn't hard to guess what it was. Another buyer opened a box and found a comb covered in hair. And these boxes weren't cheap. Many sold for hundreds of dollars. Some cost more than $1,000. You would expect people to stop buying them, but the opposite happened. Demand grew, and the internet turned it into a trend. Dark web unboxing became a niche on YouTube. Creators filmed themselves ordering the boxes and opening them on camera.
I'm kind of nervous to open it up. I don't know whether or not this is like gonna be something like gruesome or morbid.
Curiosity wasn't the goal anymore. It became a contest to find the most disturbing box possible. The more extreme the contents, the more viral the video. One creator opened a box and found teeth. Another received old medical tools. Some items were so alarming that after unboxing, creators contacted the police. Dark web mystery boxes still exist today. The hype faded, but the danger has not. The person in our next chapter was labeled as the most heartless man in Australia. Dark web live streams. On the open web, entertainment usually means YouTube videos or live streams on Twitch, but on the dark web, entertainment looks very different. People there watch live streams too, but the focus isn't for fun or games.
Are there live streams on the dark web that goes something like this, bro? Holy, what is the internet filled up with, chat?
It's for more criminal activity. These dark web live streams are known as red rooms. A red room is a private live stream where crimes take place while viewers
crazy, bro.
watch
That's
and
crazy to
interact
even
in real
think
time.
about.
Stories about these rooms began circulating in the early 2000s. The setup was simple. An anonymous user would post a message in a dark web chat room. The message invited others to join a red room live stream, but access was tightly controlled. Only trusted users were allowed to join. In some cases, new users had to be vouched for by others. Once a user was approved, they received a link. Clicking it opened a basic live stream site.
It's a private live streamed event where there's like a chat box, a video player, kind of like YouTube right now.
And there was always a countdown before the show began. When it reached 0, the chat unlocked. The stream usually showed masked people standing around their target.
This is
I can't get into
so
detail
much
about the live
filled
streams.
with bullshit, bro. So there is genuinely live streams for people murdering other people, and people are watching this with enjoyments. Oh.
The worst part was the live chat. Viewers weren't just watching, they were directing what happened next. Viewers sent cryptocurrency to request specific actions. The
That's
higher the
crazy,
payment, the
bro.
faster the request
That's
was carried
crazy for the people that are actually watching this and enjoying it. So much mental sickness in this world, bro.
out. For years, red rooms were dismissed as rumors, and one day someone made a mistake, and the world learned how real red rooms truly were. The first
I'm
confirmed red
genuinely
room
pissed. I'm genuinely pissed that things like this exist. I didn't know that these are existing, but hey,
operation was
pissed.
uncovered in the Philippines. It was run by a man named Peter Scully. Those who knew Peter said he was driven by one thing: money. Peter was wanted for fraud in Australia. So in 2011, he
Like, doing it is one thing, right? Because I'm pretty sure the person that does it, like, he doesn't really care about murdering the person or humiliating him. Like, what is it called? What is the right word for it? When you, like, make him suffer. You know what I mean? He's doing it for money. But the people that are genuinely watching and donating for that person to do certain things with that person, who can be a random ass civilian. He was in the wrong place in the wrong time, and somebody took him with a truck. And people are donating for that to make him suffer. It's like so much sickness.
Led to the Philippines.
You have
That's
to be
where he
genuinely
discovered
sick.
the dark web. Peter became obsessed with red rooms. Eventually, he decided to create his own. Viewers paid him to do requests on camera, but the live streams weren't the end. To make even more money, Peter recorded the footage and sold it on the dark web. Some reports say he charged up to $10,000 per video. The videos spread through underground circles, and Peter made a fortune. He believed the dark web made him invisible, but it didn't. Law enforcement eventually discovered one of his videos, and an international manhunt for those responsible for the video's production was launched. Investigators had little to work with, so they analyzed the footage frame by frame. They examined furniture, electrical outlets, and anything in the background. Those details narrowed his location to the southern Philippines. Local authorities got involved, and in February 2015, police raided Peter's home and arrested him. There was no doubt they had the right
Nobody
person.
police
When
for all
police
that
went through his
investigation.
phone, they found 3,000 images and 900 videos of evidence. Peter was sentenced to life in prison. After the arrest, more cases surfaced. In 2019, Italian police arrested...
Bro, like these motherfuckers doesn't even deserve a life in prison. They deserve a lifetime in prison and suffering. Not just being put in the prison where he doesn't have to work. He doesn't have to do anything. He gets the money. He can rest and he can do whatever he wants. Like most of the time. Obviously in a locked cage. But still he's free in that matter. He need to suffer. He need to genuinely suffer every single day of his life. Make his life miserable. That's gonna be like something that's gonna be ticking his brain with. Not him looking him up and feed him, bro.
2 people involved in another stream. Then in 2021, London police arrested a man named Marius. He was caught streaming on the dark web. Like most things on the dark web, no one knows how many red rooms are active today, but people who watch are often the last ones you would suspect. This next chapter shows
Yeah,
how
exactly. You have to make him pray that he would have died. It would have been really better. You have to make these people suffer. Like, I generally don't think that's actually suffering for them to put them in lifetime for prison. That's what is it, bro? You're literally getting fed up without even working, and you're just locked up. You don't even have to worry about anything in life. No worries come to you, bro. I don't know. That's not a suffer in my eye.
the dark web uses fear as a weapon.
Death penalty is not even gonna make him suffer, because yeah, he just dies and then his life was easy. You know what I mean? He made money with the dark web. He was making people suffer, blah 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 blah, and he then just dies. I don't think that just amplifies the punishment that he's deserving. He genuinely needs to be suffering every single day and wishing for death. That way his life is gonna be amplified as, okay, he suffered. He suffered more than what suffer he gave to the world. Obviously not to the world, but to this person that was suffered because of him.
The kidnapping. There's a group on the dark web so mysterious that people still can't agree if they're real or fake. They call themselves the Black Death. They are an organized crime group that deals in nearly anything illegal, but their main focus is kidnapping for hire services. And if they truly exist, they may be the worst group tied to the dark web. And in 2015, a reporter went searching for proof that the group was real. While browsing the dark web, he came across what appeared to be their official website. It was deeply unsettling. The site claimed that people all over the world were being abducted. And for the right price, the group said they would take anyone you asked for. But making claims online is easy, so the reporter decided to test it. He posed as a potential customer and tried to place an order. He sent an email through the site. After some time, the site's owners replied, but the response wasn't welcoming. Their email to him read, "Who are you? How do you know about us? Who recommended us?" The reporter tried to convince them he was a real customer, but he failed. They concluded that he was a police officer. Their final message to him was, "Do not bother us again." In the end, the reporter couldn't prove if the group was real or fake. But 2 years later, things changed. Something happened that proved the group existed. In 2017, a 20-year-old British
Like, I don't know, like being in the dark web with this kind of
concluded
messages.
that he was a us.
Like with this kind of messages, right,
Welcoming.
chat?
Their email to him read,
Who are you? Like, if you're doubting somebody and you're already doing some crime shit, in the first place, why do you even respond to these messages? If you feel anything is sus, they're not a customer, why are you even responding? I don't know, like, I feel like they're dumb as hell.
"Who are you, customer?" But he failed again. In the end, the reporter couldn't prove if the group was real or fake. But 2 years later, things changed. Something happened that proved the group existed. In 2017, a 20-year-old British model flew to Italy for a photo shoot. Her name was Chloe Ayling. When she arrived at the studio,
Okay, I'm a fashion model, so I can relate to that. Let's see what is happening. Most of the time, for the people that doesn't know how this works, right? She's Russian, they said.
flew to Italy, proved the group existed. In 2017, a 20-year-old British model flew to Italy for a photo shoot.
20-year-old British model flew to Italy. So how does this usually work, right? I got an email from my agency. Hey, you got confirmed for a job for Louis Vuitton, blah, 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 in France, for example. The photo shoot is going to be in France. They're going to be sending out the emails, the dates where the photo shoot is going to be happening. And then you sleep. You let it rest. Before the photo shoot, before the actual flight, within a week, within that frame time, the agency is going to be sending you all the flight details, the hotel details, who's going to be picking you up from the airport, if somebody is picking you up from the airport, locations and everything. So you have all those informations. You have a flight ticket, you have a hotel, and basic information. You still don't know anything about the photo shoot. So you take the flights, you go to the hotel, and then before the photo shoots, they send you like, hey, this is the information about the photo shoot. It's going to be happening in this location. It's going to be this much hours, blah, 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 blah. So this is how it works. So this model is just going for an average day of Italy, average photo shoot in Italy. Let's say what happened to her.
Her name was Chloe Ayling. When she arrived at the studio, she was taken.
But last July, she was abducted off a street in Italy.
This is so fucked up, bro. Like, I'm assuming this model did thousands of, maybe hundreds of works similarly. Just flying over to another country, do the job, go home, get the money, blah, 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 blah. Like, you just show up in a random ass location. I'm saying it, you do not know anybody in that location. So most of the time, you're meeting new people all the time. So this thing actually can happen. It's unexpected, but it can happen because all the time you're meeting new people. You never work with the same people all over, like over and over again. Maybe if the client liked you, they book you again. So you have information like who are these people. But most of the time, you're not going to be knowing who these people are. It's kind of crazy. Now me even thinking about it. Bro, like this shit is messing with my head. Next time when my client, my agent is sending me some information about potential work, I'm like, bruh, I'm not living. Don't consider me as a model anymore. I'm retiring. Bro, I'm never gonna be showing up to random ass places anymore, bro. Like, this shit can happen. Obviously, like, what is the chance to it? But hey, it can happen.
By two masked men.
Her captors contacted her modeling agency. They claimed they were members of the Black Death, the same group from the dark web, and they demanded roughly $300,000 for her return. The ransom was not paid, but the news of the case went viral. Global media picked up the story. Almost overnight, the group
I never heard of it, bro. I'm living in the industry and I never heard of it, by the way.
Became world famous. Italian police launched an investigation, but before they could make progress, the unbelievable happened. 1 week after her abduction, Chloe walked into the British consulate in Italy, but she wasn't alone. A man named Herba drove her there. He was quickly arrested before he could leave, but no ransom was paid. So how did Chloe return safely? Chloe had an explanation, but many found it hard to believe.
Taken to a farmhouse hours away and held captive for 7 days.
She said,
what do they even do with her for 7 days, bro? I don't want to be imagining the worst, bro, but bad thing could have happened. Bad thing maybe happened to this girl.
Her captors threatened her constantly, but after several days, her luck changed. She convinced one of them to let her go.
The model says she was detained for 6 days until her captor discovered she was a mother.
According to Chloe, her captors told her they had rules, and one of the rules forbade kidnapping mothers, so they released her. But they didn't just let her walk away. One of the kidnappers, Herba, drove her to the British consulate. Before leaving, he handed her a business card advertising the Black Death. Then he asked her to publicize the group as he let her go. For many, the story seemed too bizarre to believe. Thankfully, Herba was in police custody, which meant officers could hear his side. But his story was even more unbelievable. During questioning, Herba kept changing his story. First, he claimed Chloe staged the kidnapping to boost her career. Then he said he was only a middleman working for the Black Death group. Later, he told police he was terminally ill and needed money for medical care. In the end, investigators concluded that he had mental issues. They described them as a dangerous person with traces of mythomania, which is a compulsive tendency
what is
to
even that?
exaggerate.
Wait, hold on. Mythomania. Everybody lies or exaggerated or at least occasionally, but a person who suffers from mythomania, exaggerated and lies to an extent that is an abnormal and beyond their control. Okay, so they just lie a lot, right? Like they lie crazily. Mythomania.
Despite this,
a new word put in the dictionary. I'm not English, yo, so we're learning.
Detectives were certain of one thing. Herba was directly involved. They confirmed the ransom demands were sent from his computer. Herba went to trial. In 2018, an Italian court sentenced him to 16 years in prison. But there was also a lot of attention on Chloe. Many people stopped seeing her as a victim. Instead, they believed she was the mastermind behind the whole thing.
Many accused
Now,
her.
if all of these are made up story by this girl have mental issues. Because I'm telling you, most of the time, like I did hundreds of photo shoots the same way, flying over, blah, blah, doing the job, never meeting the people, doing the job, everything is fine, getting home. There is like almost 0% chance to this scam, you know, to happen. Because most of the time, like the brands are gonna be reliable sources who are contacting the agency that they're requesting you for a photo shoot. So this cannot really happen unless like some really giga brain master plan is going on behind the scene. Which I'm assuming if they want to execute something like this, they have to like plan it properly. But maybe this is just a made up story from this girl, as the narrator is saying. I don't know.
Of making the whole story up. An elaborate publicity stunt for fame and fortune.
Things worsened when more details came out. Police found that Chloe's kidnappers took her shoe shopping during the period she was supposedly held captive. That revelation made her story even harder to believe. When questioned, Chloe admitted it was true, but she had an explanation. Her lawyer explained that Chloe wanted to do everything she could to keep her captors calm. Chloe remained in Italy while police investigated the case. In the end, authorities allowed her to leave. They said they did not see any inconsistencies in her story. Still, many people remained unconvinced. Chloe spent years defending herself in interviews. She even wrote a book about her abduction, yet some people still don't believe her. To this day, we're not sure if the Black Death is real, but the myth certainly lives on. Up next is a dark web crime that takes identity theft to the extreme: the ransom. On the dark web, people steal your identity, and once it's stolen, they can do serious damage with it. Most stolen identities are used for basic fraud. They might buy cars or rent homes under someone else's name. But in 2018, one stolen identity...
Fucking goosebumps, bro. So whenever you put your information out there, your email, your password, it's not only your accounts that are in risk. I didn't even think about something like this that can be happening. They can be literally putting stuffs in your name, doing crime and blaming it on you, you know what I mean? Buying a car with your name, blah, 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 with your... Bro, this is crazy. I thought like whenever I put my passwords as some risky web, which I don't usually do, but hey, if it happened, I always thought like, okay, what is the worst thing that can be happening? My account is at risk, I'll just change the password. But there's so much deeper than that. This is crazy.
Was used for something far worse.
Be careful where you put your informations, lads. This is a lesson for me and for you too.
A woman named Anne disappeared in Norway. Her husband came home to find the house empty. There were no signs of struggle and no witnesses. But one thing was waiting for him: a ransom note. The kidnappers demanded 9 million euros for Anne's return. That's roughly 10 million US dollars. But they didn't want cash or a bank transfer. They left a cryptocurrency address for the payment. The desperate husband contacted the police immediately. Officers searched the home but found nothing useful. They followed every possible lead, but each one failed. So investigators followed the only trail they had left: the money. They traced the cryptocurrency wallet listed in the ransom note. To their shock, it was tied to a verified account with a real name. The account belonged to a 29-year-old man named Ole Henrik Golf. Police arrested him right away. But what Golf told them confused them even more. Golf was never near the victim's home. He had no motive, and his alibi checked out. Yet the ransom wallet was registered in his name. How? That's when investigators figured out what happened: identity theft. Months before the kidnapping, someone bought Golf's information on the dark web. Then they used it to open a crypto account in his name. That way, if the police followed the money, it wouldn't lead to the actual criminals. Golf was released. Unfortunately, this story didn't have a happy ending. The true culprits were never caught, and the woman who was taken was never returned. Investigators believe she didn't survive. But identity theft doesn't always look the same. In rare cases, stolen identities are used to save lives. In 2004, a man named Brandon Regan began receiving hospital bills in the mail. They were bills for medical treatment. Together, they added up to about $20,000. The problem was that Regan never received any of those treatments.
Someone posing as Regan was allegedly getting multiple medical procedures. Then the hospitals came after Regan to pay.
In the end, identity theft can be used to enable almost any type of crime. And the most frightening part is this: most victims don't realize their identity has been stolen until it's too late. Up next is a man
that's
who
the thing. Like, how are you gonna be tracking that? There is no way that you can be tracking if your information got stolen and somebody's doing things with it behind your back. They're setting things up. There is no way to be realizing that in time. Most of the time, it's gonna be too late already when the things already happened. Police is just knocking on your door here. Hey, you did 1, 2, 3. No, I didn't. I wasn't even in there. What are you talking about? It's too late. It's already done. Your name is there.
Did his criminal activities in a nuclear bunker, the cyber bunker. But now one thing is clear: the dark web is filled with disturbing websites. The real question is, how do those sites stay up online at all? Websites aren't just code on a screen. They live on physical machines that run day and night. Those machines are called servers. On the open web, websites rent servers from hosting companies, but those companies have strict rules. They don't allow illegal content. That means criminals can't freely use them. When criminals turn to shady hosting companies, they face another problem. Law enforcement is constantly trying to find servers that support illegal dark web activity. If authorities seize a server, every website running on it goes offline instantly, and that happened a lot. Over the years, police have shut down countless servers linked to dark web crimes, until one man decided to solve that problem for bad guys everywhere. His name was Johan. Johan believed that the internet should have no restrictions.
He believes in total freedom. You should be able to do anything on the internet.
So in 1995, he launched a hosting company with an extreme promise. He would host anything, no questions asked. He called it Cyberbunker. His goal was simple. He wanted to keep disturbing websites secure from law enforcement actions. To do that, he bought an old nuclear bunker in the Netherlands. It had concrete walls, steel blast doors, no windows. He hid his servers deep inside the bunker. Then he went one step further. He turned the bunker into a fortress. He built a surveillance room to monitor the place. He reinforced the doors. He even brought in guard dogs to patrol the corridors. Cyberbunker became the backbone of the dark web. It stayed hidden for years, but it all started to fall apart. In July 2002, a fire broke out inside the bunker. Cyberbunker employees managed to put it out, but someone nearby already called 911. Police and fire crews arrived at the scene. When officers tried to inspect the bunker, Johan refused them entry. His refusal made them suspicious. Authorities continued to demand access, and he kept refusing. Desperate to keep them out, Johan declared Cyberbunker an independent nation.
It was a country in a country.
Their law does not apply to us.
Johan pointed to a 1960 United Nations resolution. It stated that all people have the right to self-determination, and he used that to argue that his bunker was its own country, so the police had no right to enter. The claim sounded absurd, but it worked. The Dutch authorities backed off. Besides, they didn't have any proof of criminal activity inside the bunker. For years, the bunker continued operating, but rumors about Cyberbunker's criminal activities began to spread, and the authorities decided to act. In 2007, the Dutch government sent a SWAT team to execute a search warrant on Cyberbunker's property. The team arrived and tried to breach the bunker by force. Remember, this was a bunker designed to survive.
I mean, yeah, this is the thing, bro. Like, if people want to, like, police or whatever, firemen, want to get into your place, you refuse them. You have the right to refuse them in most countries, yes. But you just, like, bring in suspicious. Like, come on. It's obvious that you're hiding something in there. I mean, maybe this is going to be giving you some time for you to clear up your mess before they actually get in and break in and find all of the things. But, bro, these people are saying, like, there's a word within the word.
Nuclear disasters. First,
so I don't think they can be just
disabling
clearing it
blocks.
up like this.
They failed. Then they tried breaking through the walls with a battering ram. That failed too. In the end, they were forced to retreat. When dark web criminals heard about the failed breach, they came to one conclusion. Cyberbunker was as secure as it claimed. Its reputation skyrocketed. More criminals moved their operations into their servers. Cyberbunker became a multi-million-dollar empire. Johan later bought another nuclear bunker in Germany, and in 2013, he moved the entire operation to the new location. By then, Cyberbunker was hosting some of the worst activity on the dark web. Business had never been better, but it was all about to come crashing down. In November 2016, Germany's largest telecom company was hacked. This was not a minor incident. It caused roughly
I mean, bro, like, there has to be a chance for the police to break in. Like, they tried everything, right? They tried to break in, they tried to get in, they couldn't. But at least they can be tracking them, like putting in cameras everywhere to see how the people are operating. Like, they have to go out eventually. There is an exit for that bunker, whatever. I'm pretty sure they're not living there 24/7. Maybe they are. Maybe they are. Good for them. As they say, it's a country within a country. So maybe they just do everything in there and nobody's actually living. But there has to be somebody eventually coming in. You know what I mean? And whenever somebody coming in, like, they're going to be having the information to actually break in. They're just like living freely inside there, and he's opening up new bunkers in the other side of the world in Germany. Like, it doesn't make sense.
$1 million in damages. The German government was determined to find those responsible. Investigators traced the attack. They discovered it originated from Cyberbunker servers. That was enough. In September 2019, German police arrested Johann and his Cyberbunker employees. Websites hosted on Cyberbunker servers were tied to more than 250,000 crimes. Johann eventually appeared in court. He was sentenced to 5 years and 9 months in prison.
5 years and 9 months? What is this corruption, bro? Only 5 years and 9 months, bro. 5 years and 9 months is gonna be passing up like this. And you can just hop in back to where you left off, you know what I mean? Most of the time.
Authorities also shut down Cyberbunker's servers. Cyberbunker was gone.
Yeah, if
but
you've
its
done it once,
impact
you can do it
remained.
again.
Because of it, the dark web grew more dangerous than ever before. The man in this next chapter was the most powerful man in dark.
He made server, he didn't do crimes, but they made a lot of crimes on the server. So, yeah, obviously didn't do the crime by myself. But let's say, for example, I'm opening up a casino, right? And inside the casino, there is a room where it's literally going there to murder people. Anybody who want to be murdering people, you're free to do so. You know what I mean? You're free to do so. And everything is going to be hidden. I didn't do any crime by myself, but I opened up an area where crime can be happening. So I feel like that's even worse.
Dark web history. The largest dark web marketplace. When people hear the word marketplace, they think of a place to buy everyday items.
This is
like
what
Amazon.
I think.
But on the dark web, a marketplace means something much darker. Dark web marketplaces are secret.
Okay, so what is the worst thing that you can be buying? Weapons? Like unregistered weapons? Drugs? What is the biggest thing that you can be buying eventually in a marketplace? I don't think anything can be bigger than a weapon. Weapon or drugs. But how do they even get through the immigrations and the, like, what is it called? Like, yeah, whenever it gets to a certain country. Nuclear bombs? I mean, those are kind of weapons too, but yeah. Nuclear bombs.
Sites where people buy and sell illegal goods.
It's equivalent to walking into back alleys at night and looking for your dealer. You're just doing it from the comfort of your home.
What makes these sites even more unsettling is how normal they look. They have search bars, user reviews, and shopping carts. And for years,
Crazy,
one
bro.
marketplace was bigger than all the rest. Alphabay. Alphabay became the center of the dark web.
I assume this thing shut down already. I don't think they will be promoting it unless it's shut down. So, hey, don't do your research. You're not going to be finding that.
It served hundreds of thousands of users and processed millions of dollars every single day. Then one day, it all collapsed because of one simple mistake.
collapsed.
The man behind Alphabay was named Alexander Kazes. In the early 2010s, Alexander was behind
Bro, this guy looks like a fucking mafia. He is a mafia. Even his name, Alexander. Alexander. He's a mafia.
Alphabay was named Alexander Kazes. In the early 2010s, Alexander was already active on the dark web. Then a huge scandal occurred. At the time, the biggest dark web marketplace was called Silk Road. The site practically invented the concept of illegal online marketplaces.
It was the first of its kind. And
I like how I told you guys don't look this up, and the views literally halved, bro. Like half of you guys literally went out to check that web. Not cool, bro.
people sought it out. They realized that this was a new way to do basically like illegal commerce e-commerce, essentially.
But Silk Road made mistakes. Law enforcement agencies began closing in. In 2013, the FBI shut Silk Road down and arrested its founder. Anyone who tried to access the site saw a seizure notice. Authorities believed this would discourage others from doing the same. But Alexander saw it differently. To him, Silk Road did not fail because the idea was bad. It failed because it was careless. Alexander was a computer expert involved in international transactions of bitcoins. He believed he could build something better. So in December 2014, he launched AlphaBay. From the start, the site looked more professional than anything before it.
This marketplace actually looks quite well designed. It's quite new looking. It actually looks quite legitimate.
And AlphaBay sold almost everything.
Forged and illegal documents, credit card information, counterfeit currency, malware, tutorials for hackers.
I mean, aren't these like dark webs? So the people that are actually going there to buy, their information is not safe or whatsoever. So let's say I want to buy an unrecognized, unregistered weapon, right? Just to have it, because why not? The credit card that I put into these dark webs are not safe at all. So people that are actually ordering things from here has to be dumb as fuck.
And even a section dedicated to firearms and explosives.
The site even offered customer support by late 20...
Or maybe you can just do another credit card and just put in that information just for, you know, this kind of activities. I don't know. I don't know how these people operate, bro, but hey, I'm pretty sure there's workarounds around it.
2015, AlphaBay had thousands of listings. It was generating $500 million per year, and it became 10 times bigger than Silk Road.
If you just look at the numbers, 40,000 vendors, possibly 200,000 users, possibly 300,000 individual listings.
That's when the cracks began to show. Most dark web marketplaces survive by staying hidden. However, one factor dragged AlphaBay into the global spotlight, and it wasn't even Alexander's fault. Some of the most popular items on AlphaBay were substances. Young people across the US bought them for parties and fun, and many ended up in the emergency room. Some didn't survive. The police started investigating. Again and again, the trail led back to AlphaBay. That was the moment authorities decided to take AlphaBay down. But
I feel like I'm so not well educated, like so badly educated on this kind of things. But hey, we're gathering the information now. Hopefully for good. Hopefully we're gonna be more wise coming into the future.
Be easy. The dark web was designed to hide people. Users were anonymous. Payments were made using cryptocurrency. For months, investigators made little progress. Then in December 2016, they got a major break. The FBI received an anonymous tip from someone claiming to be one of AlphaBay's earliest users. In AlphaBay's early days, every new user received a welcome email. That email came from a personal address, not an anonymous system. Investigators traced it. It led straight to Alexander Kazes. For the first time, AlphaBay had a real name attached to it. Police ran a background check. They found out where he lived and tracked his daily routine. By then, Alexander was living large. He owned a luxury condo in Bangkok. He drove around in a $1 million Lamborghini. He even got married. He had no idea law enforcement was closing in. In July 2017, agents raided his condo and arrested him. His laptop was open, and he was logged into AlphaBay's backend system. That gave authorities exactly what they needed. They shut down the site immediately.
Today, the Department of Justice announces the takedown of the dark web market AlphaBay.
Anyone who tried
Was that an American thing only, guys? Was that only on the US or was it worldwide? If it was worldwide, I think it would have been reaching the information to where I am right now. But I never heard of it, maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Access AlphaBay saw the same message. This hidden site has been seized. AlphaBay was gone. But that was not the end of dark web marketplaces. Today, buying and selling continues in the darkest corners of the internet. When there are no rules, people reveal who they really are. And the dark web proves that freedom without morals leads to destruction. So my friends, stand firm on your values, even when no one's watching. Visual Venture.
Dang, Visual Venture. That was a well put together video. I feel like, oh my god, yeah, I subscribe to these guys. Bro, that video was putting myself right now with thought process all around the world. Like I have so many thoughts are going into my brain right now. I don't know. That was a W video.